Hi guys, my name's Shiels down here at Trafford Golf Centre in Manchester, and what we're going to talk about is the 3 absolutely key points to make you great at golf. The key points, okay? This might be a bit of an eye-opener to some of you, but it's the key things that are going to help you improve your golf game. Now, I'm taking these 3 key points from the best players, that play either at your golf club, at your county level, at national level, at professional level. It's what they do to make them great golfers. And they've all got 3 things in common. All of those golfers have got 3 things in common. I'm going to talk about today about what they are. And it's not about technique, it's not about actually where they hit. It's not about the positions that they do. So you look on tour, and I think this is a great example of this. You look on tour and you see so many different golf swings. So many different ones. From your Adam Scott, who would be seen as being textbook perfect, to your Bubba Watson, to your Phil Mickelson, to your anyone, Keegan Bradley, Jason Duffner, all these guys, Rory McIlroy, all these guys have got so different golf swings, unbelievably different. So how do they all manage to still play so fantastically well? If they all do it in very different ways. Some aim to the left, some aim to the right, some have strong grips, weak grips, some have bent left arms, some have straight left arms, some have neutral grips, aim straight. They shape it right to left, left to right. So what is the ingredient to actually make them great golfers? And why do they all have different golf swings? The reasoning being is because they all work around the 3 principles, the 3 ingredients that make them great golfers. Okay, number 1. This is number 1 key ingredient for why the good golfers are fantastic, why they're so good. What they can all do is they can all control the lowest part of their golf swing with different clubs. So what I mean by that, as the club's coming down, they can control where the lowest part of that golf swing is in relation to the golf ball. Now with an iron, that lowest point is beyond the golf ball. So they're hitting the golf ball first, then they're hitting the floor, the ground, the grass, the fairway, the rough after with an iron. And they all do that so good and all the time. Now they do that in different ways. They do that in many different ways, and you have to find out, the individual way. For me, the biggest one is making sure you stay nice and central in the swing, but they can all control the lowest part of their swing with an iron and with a wedge. They can all hit the ball first and the floor after. Now the advantage of this, it guarantees a good quality of strike. So they're making sure that they hit the ball with the most amount of connection, making that ball fly good, strong, and when it lands it stops quickly because they're utilising the grooves on the face. So they're not fatting it, they're not hitting 3 inches behind the golf ball, and they're not thinning it where they're hitting the wrong part of the golf ball and they don't get the right flight. So that's number 1, that's what they all do with an iron. With a driver, they can all control the lowest point of their golf swings again. Now, that does vary between golfers. Some like to have the lowest point of their driver swing to happen just before they hit the ball, so hitting on the way up. Some like the lowest part of their swing with the driver to happen exactly the same time as the golf ball, so hitting level. And some like it just after, so they're hitting slightly down. But they can all control that unbelievably well. So that's number 1. So when I look at fixing anyone in their golf game, in their golf swing, that's the first thing that I go to look for, is how they can control the lowest part of their swing. Now that could happen in so many different ways. I mean, I could be stood 40 yards to the left. I could have the ball position too far forward. I could swing too steep. I could drop it inside, but I could still hit beyond the golf ball because I know where the bottom of my swing arc is. I know where that is. So it's not a huge amount of technical. It's very individual to the player of how they can find the bottom of their swing. Number 2. They can all control curvature. So they can all control the curvature of the golf ball. Now I'm not saying curvature where they can hit it right or left all the time, but they can control how far right it goes or how far left it goes. Now, again, a lot of the golfers have done this in very different ways and something that you should be opening your eyes to doing, you know, to change the path of the golf club. So the biggest influencer on shape of the golf ball is the path direction and where the club face then aims in relation to that path. They're our biggest factors. Now, like I said before, a lot of golfers, certainly on tour, a lot of good golfers do not aim straight. They don't aim straight at the target. Don't aim parallel to the target. A lot of them aim left. A lot of them aim too far right. A lot of them aim ridiculously left and ridiculously right, but it helps control their path. So when they change their alignment, when they change the stance, when they change the shoulders, hips, shoulder alignment, they can change their path and they can control that. And that's something, again, as a golf coach, for me helping golfers, that's the number 2 thing that I do. I help the golfer understand where their path is. So if you're a slicer, your path is generally from the outside. If you hook it, your path is too much from the inside. We would look at addressing that, and that's something that's key to fixing. And that doesn't mean that the arm has to be straight or everything has to be textbook perfect. It's the improvement of path. So using launch monitors, we can do that. And seeing the actual ball flight, that's key as well. But that's something that top golfers all around the world, the top golfers do. That's what they do to get better. Third thing, once we've got strike, so once we can hit the lowest part of our swing and find the middle of that club face, and believe it, just on that pointer, not everybody's middle is the same. Some players' middles are a little bit more towards the toe. Some players' middles are a little bit more towards the heel. Some are right in the middle. Some are off the bottom, some are off the top. It suits their style of swing. So middle, as long as you're not hitting the heel, as long as you're not hitting the ridge severely off the toe, that can suit players, different players' game. It really can. Number 3, they all create power. So once we've done 1 and 2, that's when we start to go into number 3. Number 3, the creating power is something that a lot of players jump into too early. So a lot of players might not hit the ground at the right spots. They might hit way behind. They might not be able to control curvature. And suddenly they're trying to inject power. No way, it just won't, that's not a good recipe. Now, power's good. I love power. I absolutely love it. I think you should hit the ball as hard as you possibly can. Once you've understand number 1 and number 2. Once you understand those elements. If you don't get those 2 right, adding number 3, adding the power, it's not a great mix. It's not a great mix. So notice there, the 3 key points, the 3 key principles isn't talking about my perfect posture. It really isn't. It's not talking about my perfect grip or my perfect club face alignment. It really isn't. It's not talking about how I create lag or how I move my body weight different ways, or if I lift my head up or I do all these. It's not talking about those things. This is not a technical video. It's talking about the 3 absolute key principles that the top golfers in the world do in very unique ways to make you a better golfer. That's what we're talking about. How we can make, number 1, the strike happen every time, control the lowest part of our swing. How we can control curvature by making sure the path is correct and the relationship with the club face. And that can be done in different ways. It really can. There's no right or wrong to that. And then thirdly is how we can create power while still maintaining number 1 and 2. Guys, to do all that, to help with that, sometimes professional advice is needed. Go and seek some advice. Go and see a pro that's got a launch monitor. Come and see me down at Trafford Golf Centre. Go and see guys who have got good launch monitor technology that understands that golf swings don't have to be perfectly technical. It's how those 3 elements can make you hit the ball better. Guys, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, this is a different twist on the video. It might not be what you expected. If you've enjoyed it, please do let me know. Comment down below, which one of those 3 do you struggle with? And I'll try and help a little bit over the line online. I'll try and do my best. But let me know which one of those 3 you struggle with the most. Guys, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe. Go and check out my channel for any advice that you can possibly want. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thumb it up, comment down below. And we need to get the 3 elements correct. Strike, curvature, power. That was good. That was real good.